Welcome everybody to Personal Effects, the place to see some of the most wonderful collectibles. Good to have you back in the apartment, John.
It's good to be here. Everybody in Cleveland says hello, by the way.
Hello back to everybody in Cleveland. Thank you.
We got a great show for you. As a matter of fact, a little bit later on, I'm going to take a walk across the street and go over there into the park, and we're going to learn all about collecting kites. And we're going to tell you what to look for if you're interested in doing just that.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
And speaking of fun, John Davis is in Lakewood, Ohio, with a man who has an amazing collection of amusement park memorabilia, from souvenirs to games. It's my kind of collection, John.
That's going to be great. All that and more is coming up on today's Personal FX. Hey there, welcome to today's Personal FX, the Collectibles show. Meet two wonderful people who've come by to have their items appraised. This is PJ. Hi, PJ, how are you, sir?
How you doing?
Nice to meet you. What are you going to have appraised today?
Humidor.
Oh, now, where'd you get that?
I picked it up at a yard sale.
Oh, good luck. Do you remember what you paid for it?
Yeah, $1.
$1. Well, you can't go wrong. Good luck with that.
Okay, thank you.
And this is Chuck. Hello, Chuck. How are you, sir?
Hi, John. Good. How are you?
Now, where were you yesterday?
I was at your appraisathon.
In Cleveland, Ohio.
In Cleveland, Ohio.
See, you're blowing it for me. I was going to come in here and say how tired I was from the flight. Now I can't do it. How did you end up here?
Well, I had called your producer. I saw your producer, and we asked him if we could make it to the show because we knew we was coming out this way, and he made the arrangements, and we
made it
drove
here.
right on out.
Glad you're here, sir. That is terrific. That is terrific. If you'd like to be a guest on our FX apartment and have something appraised, give us a call at 1-800-FX-FX-FX1, and we will set it up. All right, let's go out to Lakewood, Ohio, where JD is visiting with today's Super Collector. What you up to, JD?
John, I'm glad to see you made it back.
Yeah, me and Chuck.
All right, do you have your 3 admission tickets?
Oh, I got to get some.
We're going to step through this door and back in time into the days of the old-time amusement
That's
parks.
great.
Look at this.
Woo.
Today's super collector, Dale Jerkins, has been collecting most of his adult life, and he has over 2,500 pieces of amusement park memorabilia. And this is the man who is collecting his memories from his childhood. Now, why amusement parks, and what's the fascination?
It's just a lot of fun. We've been having such a great time with collecting. Been collecting my whole adult life. It's just great fun.
And a lot of amusement parks are falling by the wayside, and they're being replaced by like theme parks and much bigger corporate type attractions.
Asphalt jungles. The neighborhood amusement park is no longer with us. A lot of the charm, a lot of the nostalgia is gone from that.
But luckily, Dale, he has captured that, and he is preserving that neighborhood amusement park charm, and we're going to take a look at some of his pieces coming up, John.
Looking forward to that. JD, we'll check in with you later on. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Okay, let's get into some appraisals. Claire, who are the appraisers du jour?
Jerry Harrelson and Bob Connolly joining us, and I know I still love amusement parks. What about you guys?
Oh, yeah.
Yes? Still go to them?
Yes.
Yes?
No.
Okay, you told the truth. Meet our first guest, Michael. Michael, good to have you with us.
Thank you.
Where are you from?
I'm from San Francisco.
Ah, any amusement parks there?
Some great ones. Unfortunately, I'm with Jerry, and I don't go to very many myself.
Okay, but you came here to have an item appraised, so
Yes.
tell us about what you've got.
Well, I have special edition #1 celebrating the Super DC Con. And what's interesting about it is it has all of the autographs of some of the famous illustrators, Jerry Siegel, Joe Shuster, Bob Kane, Frank McLaughlin, and a whole bunch of other people who I don't know who it is.
Now, you bought it with the autographs in it, or
No,
how did you get
actually,
it?
my brother went and he met all the people, and he got all the names, and he got them signed himself.
Good for your brother.
And here's his ticket to show he was there.
Well, the problem with collecting comic books is it's the art, the pop art that they collect. When you get into Action Comic #1, the first 30 of them, Detective Comic, Superman, Batman, it's the cover art that people are really interested. And when these things, such as the Sotheby auction that just happened 2 weeks ago, and these pieces bring $68,000, there's some very serious collectors.
$68,000?
Oh, yeah.
Why would something be worth so much?
Because of the art and people grabbing nostalgia. Now, when we get into this, this is considered way past the golden and the silver age of comics. And it's an interesting item, but worth under $50.
Under 50?
What
Jerry?
helps it is all the autographs, and you get someone who collects comic art, they would be most interested in having some of those autographs.
Are you in that $50 range? or-
$50 to $100.
$50 to
because of the
$100.
autograph.
Well, you have the choice of putting it up for sale or taking it back with you.
I'll take bids.
Take some bids? Okay. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for being with
Thank
us
you.
today. And because he's taking bids, our number to call, the bid number is 212-802-0082 for that or anything else that's up for sale. And Lillian joins us next. Hi, Lillian. Good
Hi,
to have
I'm
you
fine.
with us. I hope that isn't too heavy a clock you have that you're carrying. Hi, welcome. Where'd you get your clock?
My sister-in-law picked it up for me about 25 years ago at a house sale in New Jersey because I had just bought a house in Howard, and she thought it would look great on my fireplace, and it did for many years.
And it's no longer on your fireplace, or?
It was on the mantle of my fireplace.
Okay. Does it still work?
It's in excellent condition. Yes, it's working. It has gongs, and it keeps good time.
And she tells us that it rings on the half hour and
yes.
counts out the hours.
And who makes this clock?
This is an interesting clock because it's not American made, it's Canadian made.
And that's a little bit of a funny thing about this clock. It talks about the clock company in Canada that made it on the face. And the only thing made in Canada is the face. This is what they call a contract clock. And one of the major department stores or Simpsons in Canada would have ordered 10,000 of these clocks from this company, and they didn't want American goods. So they would put the Canadian name of the Canadian manufacturer on it. And this clock was originally black, and it was refinished, and you can tell that it's been a refinished clock.
How do you tell?
The grain sticks up a little bit, but because it bears the Canadian label on it, it's worth twice what the similar clock is in America. This clock will bring $200 for a black mantle clock.
200, Jerry?
I'm up $400. I think it's beautiful, even though everything that you said about it is true. It is absolutely
And why do you say 400 or a little more?
Because it's just so beautiful, and even though it's been stripped down, it's still oak, and oak is still beautiful, and the fittings on it, and people buy it for the beauty of the clock and the fact that it still works.
That's what she bought it for, the beauty of the clock.
Well, you've had it all these years. You've enjoyed it. It sounds like it's not no longer on your mantle, so...
No, well, because I have grandchildren now, and we had a large picture put up with all the kids in my flow booth, so there's no place for them, the clock any longer.
So does it mean you're going to put it up for sale? We'll be happy to help out. Or are you planning to keep it?
I put it up for bid.
Okay, we'll let you know at the end of the program. Thank you so much for visiting with us.
Okay,
You need
thank
any
you.
help with the clock, or you're okay?
No, I can
We'll give
manage.
it back to you. Great. And Diana's going to come in, and we're going to take a look at her cookie jar.
Hi.
Oh, that looks very sweet. Put it back together again for us. Where'd you get it? Sit down.
At a church sale.
And what did you pay for it?
I paid probably less than $10 for it.
Like to know how good a buy you got?
I'm hoping.
Well, I've already prepared her, and that she'll have enough money to get back to Jersey if she takes the path.
The subway.
This is actually to Jersey is the path. Yeah. This is Red Riding Hood, and it's made by the Hull Company, an American company. The patent was owned by them, and this particular cookie jar was patented in like 1953. But actually, other companies also made the Red Riding Hood cookie jar. This one is pretty neat. It's $9.67, and it is the one with the gold stars on the apron with an open basket, and really good condition.
Most important thing about this cookie jar is condition. I had an auction 2 weeks ago with 168 cookie jars in. This cookie jar was crazed in the bottom, brought $190. This one in the same auction would have brought $600 to $800 plus dollars.
The original paper label.
It's still there. It's faded and everything, but it's still there, and I keep it there.
$600 to $800. You wanted to know whether you had a good buy or not. You certainly do.
I think I know now.
Are you going to say bye-bye to this and put it up for sale, or are you going to take it home with all smiles?
I'll entertain offers.
You will. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you so much. And John Burke, I heard you did something very entertaining last night after the appraisathon.
Oh, I did. Yes, I did. I went to the All-Star game. Yes, and that
How was it?
That was a lot of fun. I have to tell you, if you ever get a chance to go to one, it's a very memorable experience.
Where'd you get to sit?
Well, I actually sat very close to home plate and all that kind of stuff. Of course, everybody going home had all our little collectibles. We had and people, I have to tell you real quick, people were actually buying unused tickets on the way out of the stadium for $10. People were selling those things just like that for $10. How about that?
People who watch the show and know someday they could be valuable.
Yeah, I was scrambling in the aisles looking for them. So, all right, let's go out to Ohio, where Camille is going to give us a preview of the next item to be appraised. Hi, Camille, what do you have there?
I have this glass vase that I got from my mother to be appraised on personal XX.
You're looking at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It opened up in Cleveland, Ohio just 2 years ago and has already become a very popular tourist attraction. Welcome back to Personal FX, and Chuck is joining us. Now, he was at the appraisathon yesterday, drove all the way here today just for an appraisal. You must be a devoted fan.
Yes, I am. Watch it religiously.
That's terrific. Now, you brought in your Darth Vader case and figurines.
Yes.
And during the break, our appraisers told you more about them. Where did you get them in the first place?
I bought them at a garage sale from a friend. They had them on a table for sale, so I picked them up and bought them.
And what did your friend charge you for it?
$50.
And what did the appraisers tell you?
$250 to $300.
250, 300. How many pieces do you have
There's
there?
48 pieces. I believe there's 23 with their weapons and everything.
And some of them are older pieces
Some
and
late,
newer pieces?
Late and early 77
And you've
to
got the
84.
case, which adds a little bit to the value as
Yeah.
well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what would you like to do?
I think I'll entertain offers.
Okay, you drove a long way. Why not entertain offers?
Yes.
Sit back and relax. Okay. Our number to call is 212-802-0082. You tired still?
I'm pooped, yes.
You're pooped. Okay, John, he's in the right place. He's in our poop chair. We just kind of rejuvenate.
Let's get that man a cup of coffee. Let's do that. All right, let's go out to Ohio, where Camille has joined us. Hi, Camille, how are you?
Hi, fine. How are you?
Great, thank you. Tell us more about what you brought there.
This vase belonged to my mother. I don't know how old it is. It's hand-painted. The only wear is a little bit of wear around the top. There are no markings on it.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's see what the appraisers think here, Camille.
Well, it's a gift-type item that you'd have found in a gift store any time in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Made in Bohemia, the Bohemia area, whether it happened to be Czechoslovakia or Austria that claimed it at the time. And this is still under production in Italy. This piece is probably Czechoslovakian or Bohemian, done probably in the 40s.
Jerry, what do you think?
Yeah, we're talking about $75. Even though it's not a terribly old piece, it's highly decorative.
And sometimes at the right condition will go as high as $100. So
Okay.
$75 to $100.
All right. Camille, what do you think? Do you want to take some bids on that?
No, I'll entertain some offers.
We will let you know. Thank you for bringing that by. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, and Jerry is up next. Hi, Jerry. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Good. Where are you from?
Glen Cove, Long Island.
Welcome, sir. Tell us what you brought. That's a good thing, yeah?
Long Island is a good thing.
What do you have here?
It's a Grateful Dead album signed by each member of the Grateful Dead.
Well, where's it signed? Is it inside? Let's take a look inside. Did you get a chance to meet them? Is that?
Well, my wife's cousin was the keyboardist before he
Ah.
unfortunately passed away from a drug overdose, and we went backstage several times, and I got the album signed by each member personally.
Now, I know the fans of Grateful Dead are very passionate fans.
Oh, yes,
so-
they are. And Jerry Garcia, of course, is no longer with us. This particular album doesn't have a whole great deal of value, but the fact that you have his signature and the other members of the band is what adds to it, his autograph.
I like it, and it's one of those things that'll definitely increase in value over the years, especially as some of the artists pass away, their signatures become more valuable. But at the present time, because of all the signatures, I'll go between $100 and $200.
Yeah, I agree.
Interesting, it's on an album, too.
Yes.
That's better than a CD package or something, right?
And it's the folding which closes and protects the signatures. It's got everything going for it.
Well, what do you think? Do you want to take some bids on this? Or
Sure, why not?
Let's see what happens. Thank you,
Great.
sir, for bringing that by. I appreciate that. We'll let you know. All right, I'm going to call Paul in because Paul is carefully holding something, looks like maybe Roseville, I'm not sure. Hi, Paul, how you doing?
Hi, John. Well, glad to be here.
Where are you from?
Ireland.
Welcome, welcome. Now tell us what you have.
I have a matching collection of Roseville pottery consisting of the 2 candlestick holders,
Gosh.
the vase, and I'm not sure what this is, whether it's for fruit or for a serving tray.
It's a console bowl.
Right,
And usually it's used for flowers.
Wow.
And there are times when it comes with a little, we call it flower frog. It's just a little round circle or figurine that has holes in it so that you can arrange your flowers in the bottom of it.
All right.
But this is definitely a really nice piece, too.
Now, that's referred to as a console set. And in the 20s and 30s on buffets, they always had the bowl with the candlesticks on each side, and that's a set. And of course, this is a individual piece that was probably given as a present with them or something else, one of the vases to put flowers in also. The console set, we're probably looking at what, 3.5? And the bowl here, or the vase, which is a little bit more common, and it's the 7-inch base, a very common shape.
Bob, turn that up if you would so we can just get a good look at the
I was
design
showing
there.
the numbers at the bottom of it. This one here will do like 120 to 140. But that's the important part right there. So combined together, we're 350, 450, maybe 450 to $500.
I'm about $400 on it.
Anything in particular we should know about the numbers on the bottom that you wanted to point out?
The first is 120. That's always the shape, and it appeared in many of their patterns. And the second one, -7, means that it's 7 inches high.
I see.
This piece here is a shape which is 468, and it's 12 inches, which means it's 12 inches long.
Well, what do you think, sir? Do you want to take some bids, or do you want to hold on to this?
I'll take some bits.
We will let you know. Thank you for bringing that by. I
Thank you,
appreciate it.
too.
It's a pleasure meeting you.
Cheers.
All right, up next is Vance. See what Vance has here. Hi, Vance. How you doing?
Hi.
Where are you from?
Michigan. Sterling.
Oh, welcome. Now, what do you have here?
Dolls of the Penguin, Joker, and Mr. MXYZPTLK.
These are great. Now, where'd you get these?
My mom got them at a flea market.
Yeah? What do we have here?
Good shopping, Mom. 1973 superheroes, made by Mago. They're in what we call, again, play with condition with the box, rather than mint in the box.
The arms are off on Joker.
Yes, and on 2 of them, the arms are have been misplaced. That can be repaired. That's just a matter of joining the arms back. They sell for about $25. That's what you book. However, because Batman has become such a mania with the new movie release, I'm going to jump it up to about $35, even though they are in play with condition.
Each one? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
I agree that they'll bring from $75 to $100 for the 3 of them.
Now, what is that one we have there? Now, that's the...
I can't pronounce them. What's his name?
Do you know?
I think you just say the letters as Mr. MXYZ.
That's what I would do, yeah. That's
good. I like that.
Well, what do you think? You want to take bids? You want to hold on to them?
Yeah, we'll take bids.
No, let's see what happens. Thank you very much, Vance. Appreciate that. Let's go back out to Ohio, where J.D. is up to fun and games. What are you doing right there, J.D.?
John, I'm up to talking about prizes that you would win at carnivals. Remember all the different games and the different prizes that you would win? If you weren't very good, the small prizes would be like the Lays and things like this. But look at this. Chalkware was probably the most popular carnival prize between like the 1920s and the 1950s. We've seen a lot of this on the show.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, many of these pieces didn't survive because they would get broken or the kids would break it to literally use the chalk. Fortunately, today's Super Collector has preserved over 700 of these chalkware pieces, and this is just a sampling. And we're going to see what other carnival items he's preserved in his incredible Super Collection of over 2,500 carnival pieces. It's all coming up next.
Did you know that on November 7th, 1903, Samuel Franklin Cody crossed the English Channel on a vessel towed by kites? Tomorrow's Did You Know will be about sails.
I wonder how fast he was going.
Yeah, it depends on the wind, I guess.
I guess as well. Welcome back to Personal Effect. We have a whole bunch of items to tell you about that are up for sale right now. Starting out with the DC Comics Convention program that was autographed by people at the convention. Unfortunately, the comic art is not, well, it's not really hot now, or it is? What?
Comic art is super hot. But that's
the programs
not reflected on that program.
All right. $50 to $100 is the appraised value. We have the Canadian mantle clock. It is called a contract clock, and the pieces were made in different places. So part of Canada, part America. And it still works, and it's worth $200 to $400. And the Little Red Riding Hood cookie jar, you see one of these for 10 bucks, pick it up, because you get a great buy. Made by Hull, in good condition, has the original paper label, worth $600 to $800. And I see a lot of people out there with the Darth Vader case and all those figurines. We've seen a whole bunch on the show lately. And it's a mix of characters, 48 total, $250 to $300, the appraised value.
But wait, we have more. We also have the glass vase. This is from the 1940s, made in the Bohemian era, and this is a gift item, highly decorative, and this was appraised at $75 to $100. Then we have the Grateful Dead album that has been signed, and it's signed by all the band members, and that's going to go up in value, but today it's appraised at $100 to $200. We've got the Roseville pottery set here, and this is called a console set right here, the bowl with the candlesticks on each side. And the vase here is added as a gift. The whole thing, you're looking at about $400 to $500. And last but not least, we have the villain dolls, the Amigo villain dolls. There's 3 of them in the original boxes, appraised at $75 to $100 for the whole set.
So if you see something that you like, here's what you do. You call us at 212-802-0082. I have a confession to make.
What's that?
I still adore kites. And there are times like I'll buy gifts for kids so I can go fly the kite with them.
Is that right?
Yeah. I adore kites, always have.
How about amusement parks?
And amusement parks as well.
How about flying kites in amusement parks? That'd be a good idea.
I've done, you know, I've done all of that, John.
Is that right?
Yes.
All right, well, let's go check in with J.D. out there in Ohio and see what he's up to. J.D.?
Well, John and Claire, you could possibly win a kite at an amusement park.
That'd be great.
And, you know, I keep saying carnival. And carnivals and amusement parks are essentially interchangeable.
Right.
The only difference is...
One is stationary, the other one packs up and moves to a new location.
And the carnivals move and the amusement parks are stationary.
Right.
But a lot of the prizes that you could get are
Absolutely
interchangeable.
the same, right. Bought them from the same wholesale.
Okay, again, this is Dale Jerkins, and he's been preserving amusement park memorabilia. And take a look at this. This is his oldest piece. Now,
That's my oldest dated piece. It's from Exposition Park at Conneaut Lake, dated 1900. Exposition Park went out in the early 1900s. It became Conneaut, was in business until 2 years ago, closed, now has reopened under new management.
And this is glass.
Right.
And something like this must be hard to find.
Like hen's teeth.
Where do you tend to find most of your pieces?
Most of the pieces I find on the secondary market. Just friends looking for friends and everything else, trading, however you can come by them. Maybe 1 to 2 pieces a month, maybe a year.
John and Claire, too, look at this piece. This is a great piece. Remember these, the claw?
Yeah.
Yes.
I could never win at these things.
Never.
But this is old. Look, it takes 2 pennies, and you pile the pennies on top and insert them. So how old is this, Dale?
That dates back to the 1930s. It was in operation at Chippewa Lake till 1978.
Let's see if I can find... Remember these, the finger torches?
Yeah.
Look,
you got it. You got it.
ladies and gentlemen, the first time in history I've ever gotten
you did it, man.
out of the claw.
That's
What's
great.
the value of something like this?
Well, it's hard to say. Probably around $1,500 or so.
Wow. Where did you find it?
That came out of Chippewa Lake at the end of 1978 when they closed. I got it on the secondary market.
He also has a couple of interesting items here. These are punks. And why are they called punks?
Well, you used to want to knock them down, and you threw a ball at them, and if you knocked down 3 or 4 of them, you might win a chalk piece.
And these are how old?
Those are probably from the 30s or 40s. These
Look
ones
at these
here,
old ones.
these are definitely from the early 20s. They're straw stuffed, 2-sided. One of the figures happens to be Jeff from Mutt and Jeff.
Huh.
And yeah, look at that. Now, this one says Mutt, and the other side, and this one says Jeff. Now, a lot of times you can date them by the characters on it.
Exactly. That's the only way that I even know where they come from, except that they are very early. Most of those are from comic characters that I don't remember, probably way before my time, although that's hard to believe.
Now, look up here. These amusement park signs are also very much a part of amusement park tradition. Tell us about these.
Well, those signs were put up on the special days that they had nickel days. These particular ones are from Euclid Beach, which is the most beloved park in Cleveland, well thought of, went out of business in 1969. On Tuesdays, you could go there and ride any of the rides for a nickel, with the exception of the Thriller Dodge Pony Ride or Rotor, which are real expensive. Those were a dime.
Twice the price.
Twice the price for twice the fun.
And then, John, as you mentioned earlier about people collecting the tickets from last night's game, he has a lot of amusement park tickets.
Yeah, those tickets are for not only the rides, but also for dance halls. They're for food. They go anywhere from about a nickel up to about $1.50, depending on what it was good for. They're from all different defunct parks.
And look down here, we were talking earlier about the chalkware souvenirs. Look at all the different old souvenirs that you could get from these amusement parks.
Literally thousands and thousands of different pieces, all the way from thermometers, letter openers, button hooks, new items, plates, just anything and everything.
Well, Claire likes toys, so Claire?
I certainly do. I adore it.
This one's saying hi to you.
Hi,
and to get a little bit of a New York theme happening here, this is a piece from Coney Island.
Coney Island.
Now, how old is this?
I would say that's probably from the 40s.
Wow. Dale, you have a very interesting collection.
Thank you very much. Thank you
for sharing it with us.
Come back anytime.
And I think a lot of people watching this show are reminded of their childhood days and the things that they won and saw when they went to these different amusement parks.
Preservation.
That's what you're doing.
Of our memory. Maybe even makes us feel a little younger.
I think it does. A lot of collectors feel that way.
You know, JD, it's one thing to win something from the club, but unless Dale's going to let you keep that piece, you got to figure out a way to get it back in.
He might let me keep it. No.
Maybe.
It's part of his collection. We don't remove anything.
It's a great collection, very colorful. Thank you both very much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I love seeing that. Several years ago, I went to the Jersey Shore, and they had a claw. I couldn't win a thing.
I couldn't either.
I tried.
Spent a lot of money on that.
Certainly did.
Well, Claire has been looking forward to this all day. We're going to be learning about the collectability of kites when Personal FX returns, so stay with us.
Personal FX is always on the road. In fact, next week we'll be in Tucson, Arizona. And for those of you who live in Tampa, Florida, we're heading your way July 21st through the 25th. The week of July 28th will be in August. Through August 1st, we'll be in Wichita, Kansas. Just a reminder, we're already booked up in Tucson, Arizona, but it's not too late if you live in Tampa or Wichita to call us at 1-800-FX-FX-FX1 if you'd like to be a guest on the show. And PJ is joining us in the rec room for an appraisal. Hi, PJ.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Where are you from?
From Ireland.
From Ireland. How did you hear about us?
Well, I'm staying with a friend in New Jersey, and he's just an FX Collectibles freak.
Oh, how nice. So he suggested you to come on the show. Did you bring this with you from Ireland?
No. He just arranged this for a fun thing to do for our vacation, so he just said,
How
go out and buy
lovely.
something.
So you bought this?
Yeah, it's a yard sale.
Terrific. How much did you pay?
$1.
Can't go wrong for $1.
I don't know where they find them.
I tell you.
Van Rossen's tobacco dated 1750, which is obviously a reproduction, but this piece was done before World War II, and it has the Delft mark and the insignia and all on it, and the typical Delft blue and white, just at the end of the real collectible Delft era.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it has the sponge which you moisten, and you put your pipe tobacco in there, and it keeps it fresh all the time.
It's a humidor.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think in terms of the price?
About $175 because humidors have taken off since the Jackie O auction.
PJ, did you get the idea? You paid $1 what you were getting?
No, I didn't realize.
Here?
I'll be a little more conservative and say around $100 to $110.
Still?
Yeah.
I mean, you only paid $1 for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's very good. The way the show works, you can put this up for sale if you'd like.
Oh, definitely.
Okay. We'll do that for you. And how nice of your friend to suggest that you come on the show today.
Thank you.
And our number to call is 212-802-0082 if you're interested in bidding. But let's go back on out and see what Susan has for us to take a look at. Hi, Susan. Welcome to the program.
Hi.
And what would you like appraised today?
This chair, we estimate it to be in the early 1900s.
Mm-hmm.
It's hand-carved oak. The seat is made of 3 separate pieces. It appears to be a gargoyle on the front, and that's about all we know about it.
And where'd you get it?
Garage sale.
Don't tell me you just paid $1. Do you know how much you paid for it?
Somewhere between $5 and $10.
Is there any label on the bottom of the seat?
Not that we could find.
All right, this is the figure is, of course, called the North Wind, and this is an excellent example of what we call the arts and crafts movement, about 1885 to 1900, and it's carved out of oak, and there were several major chair companies that made this type. And this is a beautiful example, and it's usually a desk chair. You would have sat at a desk and written from it.
Make a beautiful side chair, and I love the turnings on the slat in the front of it. Highly desirable, something you could use in the side any place
You gotta go to some of these garage sales, you know, in the $5 to $10 range. What were you gonna say?
$300 to $500.
Yeah, about $350 for this lovely chair.
Great sale, great buy you got. Would you like to put it up for sale?
I would entertain bids.
Okay, we'll do that. Thank you so much.
Thank
you. In the 3 years I've been doing personal FX, I've never gotten to say this to John before, but John, go fly a kite.
Yeah, but you always wanted to, didn't you? You always wanted to. Claire, kites have been around for thousands of years, even helped Ben Franklin in his search for electricity. So joining us today to talk about the collectability of kites, Jim Lowe. Jim, how are you, sir?
Fine. How do you do, John?
Thanks for stopping by. Now, you have hundreds of kites. How did you get started collecting?
Well, this is the one that started it all. This little frog kite that I picked up in Seattle for my wife, and that's how the whole thing belonged.
Well, it has led to a great collection. Let's talk about some of the kites that people look for when they're collecting. Tell me about this.
This is a diamond kite, and this is a newer version of the diamond kite. And as you notice, this has a design on it, and it says wind, and meaning that we want good wind to fly our kites.
So people really like the diamond-shaped kites when
That's one of the oldest of the designs.
Now, also, when people are collecting, they also like the ones that have basically designer names or certain designers.
Yes. This is by Martin Lester, and as you can see, he has a space shuttle called the Columbia.
This is an excellent. Have you flown this one?
Yes, I have. I've flown this in Washington, D.C. Using 10-pound line.
Can these be valuable? How collectible are they?
They are extremely collectible. Something like this is in about $60 to $100 on this, and some kites has gone up as high as $15,000.
Now, we have a certain type of example of our collector speaker, our Did You Know of the day, and this is a Coda.
This is a Samuel P. Cody.
Cody.
All right. When he sailed the Atlantic Ocean, has something similar to this kite. This is the baby version of it, and of course there's one that's big enough to lift a man up.
Very interesting. Now, on other kites, people are also looking for what they're made of. In other words, this would be silk and bamboo?
This is silk and bamboo. This is a Chinese kite called Boy in the Basket. This is about 1960. And being that China is filled with abundance of silk and bamboo, that's henceforth
very indicative.
Very indicative of it. And especially the older the bamboo, the more expensive it is.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
That makes sense. Now, tell me about this here and this
Now,
right
this
here.
is a newer version. If the cameras could come close and look at the pattern internally, this is ripstop nylon, newer cloth material. It's lighter, and it's graphite instead of wood. So it makes this kite at least 1/3 the weight of a smaller old paper and wood kite.
Now, next, we have a one-of-a-kind. Claire, you're going to love this. Tell me about this. Here, Jim.
Now, this is my Uncle Sam kite.
That's great.
And it is, it took first place at the Washington International Smithsonian Kite Festival, in which it took about 130 hours to make.
This looks like something that you'd see on Thanksgiving Day going down Fifth Avenue, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. We try to put different themes on kites as well, Christmas themes and Halloween themes.
Before we go, do you have any tips for good kite flying? Do you want a lot of wind? Is that a good thing?
May the wind be in your backs, and go fly a kite and have fun.
That's the idea. Enjoy them. Jim, thank you so much for stopping by. These are beautiful.
Pleasure.
Really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
All right, that is terrific. All right, let's get a preview of the next item to be appraised on today's show. Out in Ohio, belongs to Ella. Hi, Ella. What do you have there?
I brought discovered tureen with me today to be appraised, coming up next on Personal FX.
Welcome back to Personal FX. I like some of those kites, John.
Yeah, and I like what Jim said. You can collect them, but if you want to, go out and have fun with them, too. That's part of it.
It's not enough just to look at them. You got
Yeah,
to play with them,
absolutely.
of course. And if you'd like to bid on some of the current items that are receiving bids, here's what you do. Let's tell you, first of all, about the items that are getting bids. The DC Comics Convention program has been appraised at $50 to $100. It was autographed by people who are involved in the comic art, but the programs are not as valuable as the comic art itself. And then we have the mantle clock that has been appraised at $200 to $400. It's called a contract clock. Pieces were made in different places, Canada and America, and worth double what it would be worth if it were all American. Okay. And then we have the Red Riding Hood cookie jar, worth a lot of money because it is in mint condition, worth $600 to $800, made by Hull, has the original paper label, which also should not be removed. And then we have the Darth Vader case along with the figurines, which have an appraised value of between $250 to $300, a mix of a whole bunch of characters, older characters and newer characters.
Then we have the Grateful Dead album, and this was appraised at $100 to $200, and the reason is because that it was signed by all the band members, and that is going to go up in value in the future. We have the Roseville pottery set, and this is called a console set, and the vase would have been added as a gift. That whole set there was appraised at $400 to $500. And last but not least, we have the villain dolls, the Mego villain dolls. There's 3 of them here in the original boxes, appraised at $75 to $100.
It's not too late to call us to bid on any of these items. Our number to call is 212-802-0082.
Back out to Ohio we go, where Ella has joined us. Hi, Ella, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Doing real good. Thank you very much. Tell us what you brought there. It looks nice.
I brought one piece of a set of 75 dishes. It's a covered tureen. It belonged to my uncle.
Ella, I'm sure the appraisers...
He said that it came from his mother-in-law.
I'm sure the appraisers are probably going to want to see that mark on the bottom, if we can get another look at that. And let me see what they think here, Ella. What do you two think of that?
It's earthenware, not a porcelain. Cleveland, China, probably Cleveland, Ohio. Interesting guess.
Yeah.
But this set is earthenware, which means it's a type of that it is not high-fired like porcelain. And because of that, over a period of time, it will craze and deteriorate some. The glaze was put on not at a high temperature. Beautiful to look at.
Everyday set, usually your earthenware set was your everyday set, where your porcelain set was usually your special occasion set.
Now, she has 75 pieces.
75.
That would be a complete set, I guess?
Well, it depends on how the service started out. It sounds like a fairly complete set. You have some serving pieces,
yes,
enough regular pieces for at least a service for 8.
Yes.
What determines how big the set is the number of perfect cups you have.
I think I have 6 perfect cups.
See, that's
One
the killer.
cup.
That's the killer. Because now you only have a service for 6.
Right.
And that will put the value at $150, $125 to $150, because you can. The cups are most often broken, and that determines the size of the set.
Do you agree with that?
I do.
Okay. Ella, do you want to take bids on the whole set, or were you interested in keeping it?
We're willing to take bids on the whole set.
We will let you know. Thank you very much for bringing that by. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Got to take good care of those cups. I just learned something. Turning to our mailbag, we have a letter that was written by Debbie from Missoula, Montana, and Debbie writes to us, "Enclosed are photos of a vase that I recently purchased. It is marked Rookwood vase, and it measures 6 inches tall, 4 inches wide. It is tan and brown with a glossy finish, has a leaf and plant design on it. Any information on its value would be appreciated."
This is rather late Rookwood with the additional information that they gave us with the mark on the bottom. Rookwood from 1896 to 1900 was marked with the R, the reversed P, and a flame. From 1900 on, it was the reversed R and a P and a Roman numeral. And this one is 1946, which is rather late in their production. They're no longer doing a lot of hands-on kinds of things. Most of it was molded. but it's still a nice piece, and they're still very desirable.
And it's the gloss finish instead of the matte. I like this at $120 to $140.
Yeah, I'm a little higher than you as usual, 150 to 200.
Debbie, that's the value. Thank you very much.
Connie wrote in from Aliquippa, Pennsylvania, and Connie says enclosed are photographs of a Spock Halloween mask. Now the mask is made of rubber and measures 10.5 inches high and 7 inches across with a 5-inch slit in the back. I believe it was purchased in the 70s and is in good condition. There are no manufacturer's marks, and any information would be great.
This is great fun. This is real Trekkie memorabilia. Anything with Trekkies is very collectible. Anything with a costume that came from one of the movies is very desirable and very rare and very scarce.
Spock looked better than that.
Oh, he did. But this is a mass rubber thing, and it was probably made for their convention. You know, they have a whole convention, and they all buy to make these wonderful masks, and this is one of the neat ones I've ever seen.
Bob?
Spock looks horrible there. I think, I think that Scotty didn't do a good job beaming him up, and I'll say $50 max.
50 to 75, yeah, I'm with you there.
Neat, desirable, collectible, and really creepy. So there you go, Connie. Thanks so much for writing in.
Maybe he was just having a bad hair day or something like that. And next on the line right now is Edwina, joining us from Shawnee, Kansas. Hi, Edwina. Welcome to the program.
Hi.
You wrote us about a Marilyn Monroe doll. Please tell the audience all about her.
She's a limited edition of 300 worldwide. Bought her in '83. Do you want me to go over the whole thing?
Okay, tell us a little bit more what you know about her.
It's number 142. It's 16-inch all porcelain, fully jointed doll, hand-painted German crystal eyes, custom style nylon wig, dressed in floor-length 2-piece silver gown, full-length white mink coat, high-heeled silver shoes, white diamond earrings, 9 points each, of the best quality.
She looks great. Let's give us an appraisal for you.
I
I have a problem, as other appraisers do.
What's the problem?
This is one of those man-made collectible items. It's done after the period. It was done in 1983. And the primary market for these are the initial purchaser. In the secondary market, they're not as popular. And you're going to have to wait another 40, 50 years before this thing really starts to increase in value.
These dolls originally went for about how much?
Yeah,
Edwina, do you know what you paid for it?
$6,000.
Well, you're
That's
going
a
to
lot
have
of
to wait
money.
a while because today's market you might find a buyer at $2,000 or $3,000, but I think it'd be difficult. You have to have a very avid Marilyn Monroe collector.
Very avid.
So hold on to it for a period of years,
Yes.
and you might get
Yes.
back your money, or it might even see more than the 6,000.
But it's going to take a while.
Okay.
Once you do that kind of investing, it usually takes a while before you can make money on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
A major investment. It may take some time before you'll see the 6,000 or more. But if you're interested in taking bids, we can do that for you as well.
I would take bids.
Okay. Thank you for sharing the Marilyn Monroe doll with us.
Thank you.
Nice to have you on the line today.
Of course, if you can get the Marilyn Monroe doll that sings Happy Birthday, well, then that's a whole different thing. Stay with us, folks. We've got the big bids. They're next. Welcome back. Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Welcome back to Personal FX.
That's what I was going to say. Took the words right out of my mouth. Before we get started with the big bids, let's thank Jim Lowe out there in the park in Madison Square Park across the street. And just say thank you. Oh, nice.
You're
nice,
welcome.
Nice. Very
You're
nice,
welcome.
Jim. Terrific. Oh, that's great.
We can fly that one later?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
All right, let's get started with these big bids. And, Michael, I wanted to let you know for the program, Mark from Toms River, New Jersey, called in with an offer of $151.
Well, I'd like to think about that, please.
You can do that. Lillian with the clock. Robert from Bristol, Connecticut, called in with an offer of $320.
Sold.
Oh, it is. Chuck with the Darth Vader case and figures. Chris from Sacramento, California, called in with an offer of $432.
We'll gift wrap that.
And gift wrapping thrown in.
That's right.
Jerry, for your Grateful Dead album, we have an offer from Heather from Greensboro, Pennsylvania for $325.
Keeping it.
Oh,
Paul, for your Roseville pottery set, we have a bid from Betty from Seattle for $688.
Sold.
Yes. And Vance for the Amigo dolls, Mark from Toms River, New Jersey, would like them for $151.
Sold. Yeah. That's fun, isn't it?
It is a lot of fun.
Let's go say goodbye to JD. Tell him what a great job he did today, JD.
Hey, thank you very much. We want to thank Dale for showing us your incredible amusement park memorabilia. Tomorrow we will be in LaGrange, Ohio with a collection of gas globes.
Oh, yeah,
so we'll
that's
be
great.
checking that out.
Thanks, Dale. Thanks, JD. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
See you later.
All right.
And we'll be in the park later, you know,
Yeah,
flying our
flying those
kites.
kites, that's
Jerry Harrelson and Bob Connolly, thank you so much for being our appraisers today. And it was so much fun having all of you in the apartment. And to all of you at home, make the most of your day. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
So long, everybody.